Welcome to Detroit Moped Works' first video tutorial, with many more to come. We will be starting very basic and will progress into more advanced topics. We believe that understanding how things work is crucial. We will focus on that to make your moped ownership and maintenance experience as fun and interesting as possible. Welcome to our first series of videos, Will My New Moped Start, and How Do I Find Out? This knowledge should either get a non-running moped on the road or reveal what needs to be repaired to get it on the road. This first video teaches you how to figure out if your moped turns over. Your crankshaft is the central component of your moped. On one side, you will find your ignition, which creates spark. On the other side, you will find your transmission, which drives your wheels. These turn as your piston moves forward and backwards on your connecting rod. So, if anything is preventing your crankshaft from moving, your moped will not be able to start. We will now go over the various starting methods for mopeds and no-peds. Once you understand how your specific moped starts, you will know if your crankshaft turns over. The most common method of starting vintage pedal start mopeds is depressing the clutch and pedaling, or otherwise moving the rear wheel. With this method, the bike will pedal freely until you depress the starter clutch lever to engage the clutch and begin the turning of the crankshaft. You can do this in a number of ways. You will learn which method you are most comfortable with and which method works best for your individual moped. This can be done by simply depressing the starter clutch and kicking the pedal. This is often referred to as starting the moped quarter kick. The second method is probably the most effective method of starting your moped. You will lean forward so that your rear wheel is off the ground, then pedal and depress the starter clutch lever. The third method is to actually pedal down the road like you are riding a bicycle, then engage the starter clutch. Lastly, you can replicate that without actually pedaling. You can simply push the moped down the road and engage the clutch to start the moped. You will use this method on the following mopeds: any pedal bike with a Morini motor, such as this Pacer Sport, any pedal bike with a Puch motor, any pedal bike with a Minarelli motor. Other brands that start this way will be Gorelli, Sox, Botavis, Solo, and Track 1-speed mopeds. The second most common way to start a moped is pedaling while holding the decompression lever, then releasing it to create compression and begin combustion. You will typically use this method on belt-driven mopeds. Like mopeds engaging with a starter clutch, this method can also be activated through pedaling on the stand, or pedaling down the road, or pushing down the road. You cannot typically start belt-driven bikes with a quarter kick. You will use this method on the following mopeds: Vespa Piaggio, Motobecane, Peugeot, Kinetic, Hero Majestic, and Honda Hobbit. No-peds refer to vehicles that are visually and functionally the same as mopeds, but have no pedals and start by the use of a kickstart lever. It's a pretty straightforward method. On some of these you need to depress the rear brake lever for it to grab. This is a factory safety measure. Examples of these are as follows: Suzuki FZ50 and Suzuki FA50 as seen here, Honda Express, Express 2 and Urban Express, Yamaha QT50, Chappie and Champ, Kickstart Tomos models, any kickstart bike with a Puch motor, any kickstart bike with a Minarelli motor, any kickstart with a Morini motor, and the Track 2-speed. Tomos mopeds with pedals are just dressed up versions of kickstart bikes. To start them, just kick either pedal backwards. For friction drive mopeds, such as Solex or AMF Roadmasters, you'll need to pedal down the road, then drop the motor onto the wheel to begin rotation. If you follow the starting procedures demonstrated in this video, and you hear or feel the bike turn over, you're looking good and you should move on to the next video where we will discuss checking for spark. If you follow the steps above and you feel immediate and hard resistance preventing the bike from turning over, your bike is likely seized, meaning that your piston is locked up and your motor will not turn over. We will have a follow-up tutorial on what this means and what to do. If you follow the described procedure and feel nothing, there may be an issue with the mechanical starting mechanism, possibly a damaged starter clutch, arm, cable, lever, etc. This troubleshooting will be different for almost every moped and will require specific instruction. To bypass that issue for the sake of troubleshooting and to confirm that your bike turns over, you should remove the ignition cover, also called the flywheel cover, and try to turn it by hand or with the drill. Every bike has a round flywheel. Here are some examples. If it can turn over, you will need to fix the starting mechanism, but you're still not in bad shape. Hopefully this information was helpful. Stay tuned for our next video in which we will discuss checking for spark. If you have any further questions or suggestions for future tutorials, please let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share.